What's up? Huh?
Anyway.
Oh, mine is good.
Twins. All right, just one key one. I got it.
Careful,
Okay.
shake me,
So, you guys can have a seat. Why two get 1 free?
Oh, you need one too?
Awesome. So, welcome back. Hopefully, you guys got a little sustenance to keep you going. I'll be honest. I didn't even eat. I don't even have a need for food. My thank you for my team who was looking out for me. Like, what do you need? I'm like, nothing. I'm good. I'm good. All right. So I want to make sure that we kick off the rest of the afternoon with as much energy as possible, because guess what? It's going to take your energy to carry us through the rest of the night. Are you guys with me? Yeah. So I don't want to keep the show. I don't want to stall the show any longer. The next set of speakers I'm actually going to bring up. I'm always super excited to hear from these people, because you know what? They're out in the field. They're making it happen. They have that almost childlike enthusiasm. And so they're going to get a chance and an opportunity to share with you what it is that they're doing. What is it, that one tidbit that keeps them going? What is it, their vision for 2017? What it is that they want to be able to do for their families? And so as they get ready to come up, I want you guys to make sure that you give them a warm welcome. Sometimes this is the people's first time getting a chance to speak up on stage. So as I call out their names, I want you guys to get on your feet as they're like back there in their huddle. All right, so please get on your feet. Help me welcome up at the treble.
I'll bring it back to you. Okay, cool. You know where I'm sitting, right there? Yes, okay.
We got 2 minutes. We got to make it quick. Hey guys, man, super excited to be here. But I got 2 minutes, and I wanted to share with you guys literally one of the top of the most important things for me in 2017 is really I was sharing with myself, what did I want to accomplish this year that I didn't last year? And I wanted to improve my level of service, and my service to not only my family, my wife, my daughter, my parents, my brother, but I wanted to increase my level of service to in WFG in my office of the people in the desert. I wanted to improve my service. We always talk about being a great service to your clients. I want to be a great service for my team, right? I want to improve my service for them. Not only for my team, I have personal goals and things I want to accomplish, but more importantly than that, one of the things in 2017 I'm not going to allow to happen is to go another year and not have more names come up from the desert than just Edson and Casey. I want to hear more Josh and Ashley. I want to hear Butch Brock now. I want to hear Ralph Alphone. I want to do everything I can to be of service to make them better. I want to help Casey get her SMD promotion, which is long overdue, and I'm going to do everything I can for her. I also want to do a lot of improve my level of service for Steve and Carol Adams. It's time that there's no longer an S, but an E in their promotion. I want them to be the next executive marketing director. To improve not only with James, to work with Casey and do what we have to do to get them to the next level. And one of the things I realized, there was a period of time where we couldn't, no matter what Casey and I did in our base, we couldn't really help Christopher get to that EBC level because we were on the super base. Well, guess what? We're on the super base now. And so I'm going to do everything I can, not only to get Steve and Carol where they need to be, but now we can be a part of getting Christopher where they belong, and that's EBC. And that starts with me, and that's what I can promise in 2017. So I ask you, what can you do to improve your level of service to get your people to the next level, to be an impact on their life? See, one of the things one of my favorite speakers, Eric Thomas, says is, he says, be phenomenal or be forgotten. And in 2017, let's be phenomenal.
to get people on my team to SMD. And what the big shift for me was, how am I going to show up? And so I started showing up as, if I want to be an SMD, I'm going to show up as an SMD. So I helped Natalie a lot with running interviews, running the meeting after the meetings when she wasn't there, and just really stepping into that role Besides Casey Klein, I have actually the second biggest mobilization to Wealth Goal this year. I don't say that to brag, but as an associate, are you focused on how many people on your team are coming to Wealth Goal? Are you focused on what you need to do to get your team promoted to their next level? Or are you just like, okay, I'm an associate, and that's where my level is, or if I'm a training associate, I don't know what I'm doing. So what I want to do is challenge everybody today to go, okay, I want to look at 3 promotion levels above, and I'm going to act and be that person. If you don't know what that is, go and talk to that person. I talk to Natalie all the time. I talk to Nikki all the time. I talk to Najla, and I just really focus on what I need to become. Because I'm sure that everybody here doesn't want to be in the same spot that they were last year. Is that true? Yeah. Can I say it? If everybody's all in to say I'm going to show up differently, I'm going to act differently, can I get an aye? Aye. Awesome. So just show up differently, act differently, and your business is going to completely shift. Thanks.
Best year ever, yes. First, I want to thank Christopher and Nikki for giving me the honor to be in front of you. It was a surprise for me to be put here, and it must be for a reason. Like Lori's song said, never ever quit. And I'm in the military, I'm still serving, so I could be gone for 2-3 weeks. I have about 3 or 4 years left, and I'm still in the fence if I want to finish or I want to leave the military. And inside of me says I have to finish. In spite of that, I still want to build this business. I want to thank my team for being here and that I'm not alone. And I want to become a better leader. And I have not been the best leader for them. And I want to show up to them that I am going to do my changes. I'm going to be growing more. I want to grow more. And I want to help Nikki. I want to be one of her 6 SMDs. And I'm going to become an SMD this year. I know I'm not alone because I have the help for Najla, Margie. Anyone in the office is supportive. If I'm not in the office, if I have a guest, they take care of my guests and appointments. So I know that I can do this with them and with the help of everyone. So thank you again, Nikki, for believing in me and for still believing in me. Thank you, Angela.
Sorry my voice is leaving because this has been the best year ever for me. I only have 2 minutes. So last year, Wobo, my husband looked at me and he said, babe, you clap for everybody, but I can see in your eyes you want them to clap for you. And I surely want to clap for me now. The end of October, we're area-wide. They're coming down the numbers of the top 20. Nikki and Christopher, oh Barbara, we love you, but you are number 19. We might just recognize up to 10. I said, oh my God. You know what that did to me? That lit a fire under me. And today I'm proud to tell you that I will be recognized tonight because I have worked my butt off. Sat down with Nikki, with my husband, and we got all the plans worked out. Everybody said, oh, you're retired, you're going on vacation. No, I worked harder in October, November, and December that I got the opportunity to stand before you today to say, you know what, this business, don't ever quit. You heard what Lori's little boy said? Don't quit. I'm not a quitter. I'm here to be a better leader for my team. I'm going to be Nikki's next SMD. I promise. And I'm out working on it.
I like doing this. Best year ever. Hi, I'm Julie Sarmiento, and I'm out of the Desert office with Casey Klein on the 18th. So, what I want to talk about today is what WFG really has done for me, okay? So, I met up with Casey's mom back last November, or excuse me, March. We did a one-to-one in our B&I group, and she told me about the business, and I'm already an insurance agent, as many of you know, so I thought, yeah, that'd be fair. So, expand my business, So anyway, so during that same time, I'm going through a divorce. So December 11th, it was final, and a few days later, before that, I had to go over, sign papers, read everything, and it just put like this sick feeling in my stomach. I just thought, why do I feel this way? I don't even like this man. It was just the idea that I felt like my dream was gone. Okay, so I felt kind of bad for maybe half a day, and it was on Tuesday. I went to a BPM, okay, and I got focused again, and I thought, okay, you got to remember what you're grateful for. So I thought about the kids, and I thought about this organization. And really, what I have taken away from this organization is, or this group, from all of you guys, all the group leads, all the Facebooks, is if you really work hard and you believe, it's gonna happen. So I may not see y'all at couples brunch tomorrow, but I will see you.
Number one, please look in your past 2016 and find something that you decided to do that you succeeded at. I decided in 2016 that I was going to smile all the time to avoid RBF, 50-year-old almost ladies know that's rusty bitch face. And I was going to give at least 3 compliments a day, honest compliments, even to strangers. Try not to stalk somebody and stay around. Tell her she looks like a Barbie doll, don't take it that far. Find something you succeeded at, embrace that. Number 2, watch this year. My husband and I got very clear, finally. And please know, anytime you see me, it is not me up here just alone, it is John as well. Our 2017 goal is 300 guests will attend BPMs. Nikki had done an area-wide, and she was so gracious in talking. Like, all the SMEs are all like, we're behind closed doors. So she came out with all of us lowlies, talked to us, and asked us what our goal was and stuff, and she was talking about keeping us, and it was simple. And so I said, guess, and she was like, so we decided to keep it simple. So when I say 300, you say guests, okay? You ready? 300. Yes! 300. Yes! 300. Yes! Woo!
but don't sleep on the 2-minute speakers, because a lot of times that's where you're getting your nuggets from. So here's the thing, guys. The next 4 people I'm going to bring up to the stage are what I like to kind of call the catalysts. How many of you know what a catalyst is? Spell it. C-A-T-A-L-Y-S-T. I love the 6th grade spelling bee. Don't play it. Don't get it twisted. So, you know what a catalyst is that's the person, the thing, the whatever it is that gets the rest of the crowd moving. And I like to say this is exactly what these 4 people are. They're the catalysts. If you look at either one of them, their names have been blowing up on GroupMe, on the Leaders Bulletin, and I promise you this is your next wave of SMBs. And so I wanted to give them their fair amount of time, but what I really want you to do is take notes. All right, again, well, a lot of times we have a tendency to do this. No, take notes, because they're going to give you some nuggets, they're going to give you some tangibles on how to get to exactly where they are, and then some. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce them together, but they're going to come up separately, of course. So please help me welcome Ashley Smith. Yes,
I'm a hairdresser, 3rd generation. I never really envisioned doing anything else with my life because that's what my dad did, that's what his dad did. And then I got to a really uncomfortable spot where I realized I wasn't that happy doing what I was doing anymore. I kind of felt like I had hit my pinnacle, or, it just wasn't fulfilling me. And then I met Casey, and it was so amazing because I wanted to become responsible. I wanted to become financially responsible. I am a single mother of 3 boys, 3 amazing boys, and I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to change my family's karma. I wanted to do something dramatically different that made an impact. And with Casey and this opportunity, I realized there's a place for me. There is a place I can go to make a real difference for people. And it starts with me. I think a lot of us can get into a victim mindset and a place of where we really don't feel like we're good enough or that the world's attacking us. I think Christopher said it, talking to a kid last night. He said, this isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. I know, just like all of you, we all have so much adversity that we come from. Some may seem like it's harder or better, or, we come from different backgrounds, and I thank God every single day for every adversity that I have had, because it's brought me to who I am today. Right. And I love who that person is, which is so awesome. And now I get the opportunity to grow myself into being more responsible and being that leader, and helping Casey and helping all of you guys. And what job can you go to, or what place can you go to have this type of support, to have this type of personal developmental growth? What company offers you this? I really want you to think about that. Where are you going to go to find a support like this? Because I've been a lot of places, and I've been through a lot of different adversity, and I'm going to tell you right now, this is the place I want to be. So I will see you guys on the top.
So thank you so very much. So I was thinking about what I was going to share with you guys this morning, and I said team identity, I think, was something that for me played a great role in my beliefs that I have since I became a part of WLG. And when I say team identity, I mean not just a chant, not just different things that most people would consider as team identity, but the team standard. What do you consider as your team standard? So here's something that you might want to write down. The standard that you want to build for a successful business is to be able to have 3-3-30. So don't just set that as your 3-3-30 for your promotion. You want to set 3-3-30 as your standard for every month. You at least want to be able to I call it, affect 3 people's lives. And by way of doing that, you'll be able to create a momentum inside of your business to be able to get to success. But then, when you start looking at that 3-3-30 that you're creating for yourself, you want to be able to do that for the people on your team too. So if you just do 3-3-30 yourself, and then you help each of those people get 3 people of their own, you're creating a momentum for your business. But now you have to have some forward vision for your business now to kind of carry that momentum. So the team identity that we created inside of our office was, before we even had a real big team, Team Phoenix had a desk. So we didn't just come to the office and, kind of try to borrow space or find a place for ourselves to be able to make calls and to be able to do things. We created a space for ourselves before we had enough people to even warrant having that desk. And then after having the desk, we said, okay, now we want to be able to build a bigger team identity. So now, here's the second thing. You want to be able to build out further than your own dreams before you even reach the capacity. So it's like a bucket. Consider it, if you want to be able to fill that bucket up, it's the capacity that you want to be able to have first to be able to fill to get to where you want to go. So when you start thinking about where you want to go, how big of a team you want, you can't wait until you have that big team to get an office. So that was the next thing we did. We got an office. So we said we want to have a bigger space so that when we get all of these people to be able to guide and to get them to their next promotion, we want to have a space for them. So you want to preempt the growth that you have on your team. That's another part of your team identity. Then one of the biggest things I think that I learned, and I learned that from Michael Paul, is the team vision. Making sure that you have a vision for your team, so that they can become a part of, that they can gravitate to, that they can buy into. Because you're coming to the company that has a company dream, but you have to sell your dream to your teammates as well. So they have to buy into your dream, because at the end of the day, they're coming into business with you. They're coming into WFG, but they don't understand the history of WFG. They got to learn that from you. They don't understand the history of the team that they're coming on. They only understand the vision that you sell to them. So, hey, don't sell them a nightmare. Don't talk to them about that. Yeah, they were talking about earlier about the chargebacks and different things of that nature. Don't share that with them, with your team at the very beginning. Share with them the possibilities that they're going to be able to grow and to build a business for themselves that's going to get them the one thing that Ed Milet told us that it should be the focal point for us going forward in our future, that financial independence. So keep your vision on financial independence, keep your vision on having a team identity, and I tell you, you'll make it to the top. I'll see you there.
Who's heard of that? Well, okay. No. But anyway, so right out of high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I saw my friends get into debt, change their degree or major like 3 or 4 times. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. So I decided I'll move to Australia. So I moved to Australia, lived right on the beach, and I was in mission. So, but I didn't focus on Australia, I focused on Asia and different parts of the world. Who in here's been to a third world country? Okay. Who in here spent more than 3 months in a third world country? Okay. So I would go 3 months at a time to different countries like Bangladesh, India, China, Nepal. And growing up in America, I didn't realize how much I had, but I took so much for granted what I had. And then I go to these third world nations, and see these people who live in poverty, who live on dirt floors, and it really shook me. And I got to know these people really well, and it really changed my perspective on life. I don't know about you guys, but I always focus on what I don't have. And even today, even after being to all these countries, and I'm like, oh, I just want this, I want this, I want this. But in reality, I need to start focusing on what I do have, the small victories, the small steps I've taken, because if I just focus on what I don't have, then I'm never going to be happy. And so that's my focus this year. I'd say, my wife and I, Lizzie, she's here tonight, and we just started doing this. Every year we're just praying and asking God, okay, what do you want to say to us this year? And one of the things God told us is, focus on the promise, not the problem. And so I would always focus on the problem. And then I was just down, and I was just like, I'm never going to make it anywhere. And then what you guys are doing this year is focusing on the promise. And some of those promises are, I'm never going to have to worry about money. I'm in a country where this is unlike any other country in the world, even Europe. Like, we have it so good here. I just want to let you guys know I'm very thankful, and I just encourage everyone else to be thankful here. So, thank you.
Someone shout out, what was an outcome you had coming here? What does somebody want to get out of coming here? Dancing. What else? March your hand. Margaret, Dora, come. Build your beliefs. Anybody else? Goal setting, setting your vision. Nobody said learn how to do KTP. Any of that stuff? Isn't it funny though? Because we always say that there's a place where we are and there's a place we want to go. And then what's that called in between? A gap. So in Minding the Gap, you guys even know where that came from? Minding the Gap? You know there's, I'm from LA, so I don't know much about riding trains, but you know there's a gap before you go into the next car, right? They used to have signs saying mind the gap, so you don't fall through. And it's funny when you're in a spot, especially when you're like an MD, it is such a gap, and Michael Paul reminds me of it all the time. And it's just kind of how do you jump over that next step, and I had very specific things I wanted to get out of this year's vocal, because it really is about building belief and learning how to be resilient. And I said, well, you know what, I really want to build my belief. I need to build a set of beliefs that are going to encourage me and make me know that I can create my future, no matter what my circumstances try to tell me otherwise. So that was really, really important. And the other thing was, I just said, things are so uncertain. How do you create uncertainty? Eli said it last night. Asking questions. Like, am I good enough? Why didn't this close? I said this. Well, actually, you know what? Rachel does the kids be like this. She asked this question. That's why. And you get so caught up in creating so many questions because you're trying to pursue something great. You're trying to be better. So in my background, coming from basketball, you're critical. All right, well, this is what I need to do to course correct. And what I realized last night is, as I ask myself so many freaking questions, I'm creating so much uncertainty, and certainty is the thing I'm seeking the most. Isn't that crazy? And so then I said, well, how do you create certainty? And literally, because I was so clear in exactly what I wanted to get out of here, Mark gave me an answer, Eli gave me an answer, and Nikki, she made her whole speech about me and leadership. So I got some answers. But it took me finally being clear and saying, where do I want to be? How do I mind that gap? And after listening to all the speakers, I saw something very, very interesting. Sean Villalobos told us don't waste time on social media because you never recruit anybody, right, Natalie? But then Natalie Plant said, I get all my direction from social media. It's like completely opposite. And I keep hearing some things that conflict, but what I think is interesting, one thing that all of the great people are doing, and it has nothing to do with the strategy and exactly what they're saying, they're just busy. They have activity. That is the only common denominator. We see people who work kind of hard in the office and that aren't successful. But the one common denominator between all successful people is their level of activity. And that's just it. You just have to make a bunch of mistakes. So thank you very much for allowing me to speak.
Michelle and I met Juan and Veronica years ago. I can remember when Eric Olson made his first trip down to Southern California with his squad of guys. It was like Juan and Paul Hart, a couple of the guys, and they were just like, young college kids, really. Juan was 23 years old when he started the business. And I remember them coming down to our Ontario office, and Dan and I had this big Ontario office and these big base shops. And like they saw that we had like projectors and PowerPoint presentations of like the BPM and stuff. And we're like, dude, we're doing this like off of overheads and stuff. Like it was like revolutionary to them, right? They were like, no way. And they were these young bucks. They were not polished. Nobody really knew their name. But I tell you what they were not in the markets, right? But they were hungry. These were young, hungry dudes that were as serious could be. And Michelle and I have gotten the good fortune of building not just a relationship, but a friendship with Juan and Veronica over the years. Usually at events like this, in conventions, in Hawaii, in Europe. And those of you that know my wife know that Michelle's she's just not into fake girly stuff. Right? She's not into the sort of fake stuff. Oh, those fake kisses on the cheek. Like she keeps it real. And from the moment she met Juan and Veronica, she said they were the real deal. And she had an unusual amount of respect and admiration for Veronica right from the very moment that she met her. Just class act, strong woman, confident woman. And yet at the same time, just a sweet soul, just a good person. And Juan is the same way. They're an unbelievable power couple. Juan's been in business just a short 11 years. Juan's a rock star in this company. There's a lot of successful guys in the house of the company. He's a rock star. He's the guy that when you go to a convention, people don't write on their notes Juan Jaimie, part of Eric Olson's deal. They write on their notes Juan. There's only one Juan in the company. You say, oh yeah, Juan's going to speak at my meeting. You don't think, oh, which one? There's one. There's one. We got 40,000 licensed agents in the company and we're growing. You don't think which one, right? And it's not because we have a lack of guys named Juan in the business. There's only one Juan that's established himself as a rock star. I don't even know who number 2 would be. Outside of the rock star stuff, though, him and Veronica have built just a great life and a great family. They got 2 beautiful boys that we get a chance to see in Hawaii. We'll see her again soon. One of them, he got the opportunity to name Christopher. The 2 of them did. And of course, it would have been awkward having 2 Christophers in the home, so they named the other one Jacob. But they're just like, what's cool about Juan and Veronica, you can tell family means a lot to them just the way they are when they're around. Their kids are not something like they pose for pictures and then they give them to a nanny and then Juan and Veronica are off doing what they're doing, shopping at the Chanel store. I mean, they're active parents and their family means the world to them. They're the real deal. They're the real deal. They are, as successful as they are in business, they're so much more impressive as people, as a couple, as a family. And when you've achieved as much as they have in such a short period of time, it's hard to say. They've got 12 ringers, 33 S&Ds. They're earning over $750,000 a year, and they've only been here 11 years. That's a pretty good start, wouldn't you say so? You know, it's interesting. I was talking to Juan just this last trip in Hawaii. We were sitting by the pool, and he said, "Hey." He sort of looks at me like, you know, one of the old guys, right? "Hey, old guy," right? He said, "What do you think is like the big difference between now and when you guys started?" And I said, honestly, there's a couple of big differences. I said, one, it seems like there's a whole bunch of SMBs being promoted out so fast right now because the opportunity is so good, the needs are so big, the market is so big, that it's almost like they're out over their skis, they're getting promoted to SMB and they really don't even understand the business format system. What I would call their WFG IQ is like low, but it's just so easy to hit the qualifications now compared to when we started. I said that the other thing that's going on is you've got guys now that are hitting like CEO with like 100 guys on their team. Right? It used to be like, you've got guys hitting $1 million a year now and we don't even know their name. It used to be if you had $250,000 a year of income when I started, you were rolling the convention with 500 guys on your team. Everybody knew your name. Right? If you were making $1 million a year, you were like a legend. And today the game's changed faster. Things are happening faster. It's easier. It's the best it's ever been by so much. And out of this, we wear out. Juan is the rock star. And he was invited to do over 20 different health goals this year. He's laser focused on where he's going and what they're doing for their team and their family. And for some crazy reason, he said, I think he just felt bad for saying no to 20 other guys. He's like, I probably should say yes to somebody. So he agreed to be here with our team today. So,
I just got coded. I was 23 years old, and I'm going to tell you guys my story, but I was 23 years old, and I got started in the business, and about a month and a half, 2 months in the business, Eric told me, hey, we're going to Southern California. I'm like, for what? And like, we're gonna go, there's an event. What was it? Anyways, there was a Blair singer. Yeah, Blair singer, the broken arrow with the, so that's when I started, right? So Blair singer, and we're gonna go 3-4 days before, and we're gonna go tour a bunch of offices. I'm like, all right, all our idols that we see in the little bulletin or conventions. I wasn't even, I don't know who the idols are, sure, let's go. And it was 7 of us, and we drove from San Jose, California, all the way to Anaheim, in a little Montero. Is a Montero like a Jeep? 7 of us. And we all like, I'm 6'1", 6'2", Eric, you know. Like I'm the smallest guy of the crowd. And it's 7 of us on that little Jeep, like driving 12 hours. And we were talking about bonding with your team, right? We'll talk about bonding. We really connected. Really connected. But what he did is I don't really knew a lot about, I don't know who really Paul was. I just knew the guy that recruited me, Clarence Jones. And I knew already who Eric was, and the driver, and 7 of us. But when we came back brothers. Like all those people that still in business, we all doing pretty successful. But the reason why I'm sharing that with you is because when I started, I didn't have no idea. They called my wife. I'm going to teach you a lesson in the process. They called my wife. She was on the top 25 list. You guys know what the top 25 is? Yeah? Check it. And, but then you do what most people don't do, where you actually call the list. You know? So then someone actually called the list and called Veronica. And at that point, we were both 23. I was born and raised in Mexico. My parents brought me here when I was 14 years old. English my second language. And my dad always told me, go to college. Education is the way. And right? So I went to high school. I went to 7 high schools in my 4-year period. And the reason why, not about kid, and my dad moved a lot. Because cheaper, Latino, you know, like, your uncle bought a house, he needs to take a garage, we there. And it was horrible, but we did it, no, and it's true. So I ended up with 7 high schools, and it's still through 7 high schools, I still got pretty good grades. And my dad told me, go to college, get a higher education. And it was senior year, literally everybody planning where they're gonna go, and I have never even applied to a college or junior college. And things happen for a reason. I didn't even know I was gonna go to college. I was already thinking, go get a job. And I get a call, and then it was a short story. I got a scholarship to go to a 4-year private university due to math. So I got a math scholarship. So I'm like, cool. So I go to college for 4 years, private university, all pay. And that's when I met Veronica, which is not my wife, right? She used to work there. I got a job there tutoring other kids to get good grades in math. And she used to be the admin. I used to be turning in my time card so she will pay me. And I don't know why she always paid me more. I like this girl. She always put more hours. But anyways, so we graduated and I couldn't find a job. Who knows people like that? Go to college, nice diploma. By the way, when I graduated, I got the President's Award on my class. I spoke in front of everybody like, this is the guy. Like out of everybody, he's gonna be super successful. And I couldn't even find a job in the Bay Area. I'm assuming where you guys did too, is not cheap. So, you know, $100,000 in the Bay Area is not really $100,000, right? So when I was getting job offers, it was $12 an hour, $15 an hour, $7. I will do the math on it. That's not gonna cut it. That's not even an apartment. You know what I mean? So my dad, I got my first home when I was 22 years old, because I saw one of the things that I got from college, outside of meeting my wife and education, one of the co-founders, or not co-founders, but he used to donate a lot of money. The Sobrado family. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Sobrado family. They're huge billionaires, and they give me the scholarship for some reason. And the guy's like 78 years old, and I walked him to his car, and the day of my graduation, I walked it out, and the hallway was pretty long, and I remember me walking with him. He's in a wheelchair, I'm pushing him, and I'm like, I'm supposed to ask this guy a question. You know, like, they didn't have me take him to his car for no reason. So I'm like, what do I ask him? This guy's like a multi-billionaire. I have no idea. Literally, I'm walking all the way down, and almost towards the end, and I go like, sir, I have a question. He goes, about time. Which is also a lesson within it. You see, a lot of you guys are looking for mentors. The mentor's not going to come and get you. You go look for it, right? So this guy had me walking all the way down, and I'm like, I have a question. I'm like, so you're very successful. What do you recommend? If there's one lesson you can give me, what will be the lesson? And you tell me, all right, son, I can tell you one. Because I look at what everybody does and do the opposite. That was it. And they're like, all right, put me in my car. And he left. At that moment, I'm like, what do you mean? look at what everybody does and do the opposite. So I started looking, all my family, Latino, are any Latinos in the house? Good. It's going to be more Latinos. But, and I say that, because I come from like landscapers, construction workers, janitors, nothing wrong, they're good honest jobs, right? But I'm like, how come they're not like CEOs and CFOs and running companies, and why not? I'm like, because, monkey see, monkey do. My dad, I asked my dad, how come you just work in construction and stuff? Because the goal of my dad coming to the United States was to get a good job. But once they got a job, that was it. They find destinations, that was their goal. For some of us, just having a good job wasn't not enough. So, when I graduated, that's why I went to high school, college, I did everything I could not do, and like most of my family. And guess what I ended up doing? Plumbing and construction. Because that's the only job that I could afford to pay a mortgage. So I started doing plumbing and construction, doing whatever it takes, and I hated every day of it, because I'm like, everything I did, all the sacrifice was not to end here, but I'm also thankful and grateful because we're paying the bills, and it's a job. But I don't want to be doing this forever. And my dad always told me, Miko, always keep your eye open. I don't want you to do like I do. Get out there and do something, right? And I was like, I met Veronica, we got together, we moved out, bought a house, and then a friend of Veronica, which got recruited by Paul Hart, made him do a top 25 list. Like we talk about now how we had to do a top 25 where they're fighting to give you the list, not you taking it from them, right? We got that now. And they got the list, and they called Veronica. And Veronica, at that moment, she got a good job. She was working for the county, making $84,000 a year with benefits, the city, what she wanted to do. So guess what she was? She was happy. She said, like, I'm not interested. But then the guy was straight correctly, so there's a lesson. What are you supposed to say when someone tells you I'm not interested? Who do you know? So these guys say, who do you know? The reason why I love that question so much was changed my life. Because if he would have not said that, if he would have been like most people and just hang up, because that's what most people do, just so you guys know. You guys know what the number one reason why most people don't get referrals? Because they don't ask. Right? So these guys are like, hey, Veronica, I understand it's not the right timing for you. I understand you like what you do. But hey, who do you know? We're looking for some sharp people right now. Bilingual, if you know anybody. And then she's like, you know what? Call Juan. He's right now working with his dad. He's doing okay, but I know he's always talking about doing something bigger and better. And I graduated college, 23, just give him a call. And obviously he calls me. I showed up to the VPN, and imagine this VPN. Paul Hart opened the VPN, and Eric Wilson closed. I'm like, take my money, let's go. So that was an incredible VPN, and then that's how we started. But like Christopher said, we didn't really knew what we were doing. But I had a pretty good start. I'm a very hardworking guy. I'm not afraid of hard work. You know what I mean? Like when I signed up, I had an agent that told me the other day, man, this is not easy. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, this business, the WFG thing is not easy. I'm like, pull out the AMA, show me where it said easy. I'm like, you didn't sign up for easy. You signed up for possible. I'm like, when I signed up in WFG, I didn't sign up for easy. I signed up for possible. I'm like, can this get me out of where I am? Can this change my family, right? And I'm like, well, it's possibility. There's hundreds of examples people doing it, not in plumbing, but in this. So guess what it is? That's all I need. I need a chance. So when I came in, I had a pretty good fast start. I got my watch, my $50,000 watch as a senior associate, got S&D in 9 months, got my watch, my $100,000 ring, my first 11 months in the company. I started recruiting, I started building, qualified for Hawaii my first year, never missed since then. I personally produced 350,000 personal appointments my first year. I was just out there, right? And everyone's like, man, this guy's a superstar. Like, who will like one of those? Right? Not bad. Me too, I'm looking for it, right? But, right, and I think this is the PowerPoint. Let me see. Do I press screen?
Yes.
Yeah, bring it towards that.
Yes,
Bring it towards them.
There we go.
So that's kind of what I was telling you right now. I started at 23, then I hit S&D, got my watch, ring in 12 months, qualified for Hawaii personal producer. So that was kind of like up here. By the way, failed my test 5 times. I didn't pass it to failed my test 4 times, I passed it to my 5th. And at that moment, who failed their test at least once? Wow, that's on the first try. Maybe not I can prove to that. And at that moment, by the way, who took it 2 times? Who took it 3 times? Who took it 4 times? Who took it 5 times? Oh, how many? 5? 7? 5? 10? I have a guy in my bake shop 13 times. I keep taking it. He was plugged into a different office and he was giving the raw material or whatever. But anyway, so I didn't give up. You know what I mean? I didn't give up. But I want to give you the biggest lesson I can give you coming in today, which I talk about it on the way here. I plateaued after that. You see, that was a pretty good start. And everybody like, hey, what happened after that? Nothing happened. The next 6 years, I stayed on 100 grand. I made 100,000 and I stayed there. Never moved up past S&D. Never really did much. I mean, I won the little trips here and there in the company, and I always made money. I always find a way, and I always introduced as one of Eric's best guys and all that stuff. But nothing significant, nothing to be invited to a bubble. You know what I mean? Like just kind of like an S&D. 10 recruits 1 month, 7 the next month. 14 the next month, 6 again. You guys know, maybe you're not familiar with that, but right? So some of us, right? 10, 9, 7, 3, 0, like that. And I went through that for like 6 years. But one thing I did is I always found out where to make money. But I was thinking, why did I stop like that for a long time? Well, a couple of reasons. One of them is where I come from. I don't come from money. My parents' combined incomes are $55,000, right? And my in-laws' combined incomes are probably 70. So we don't come from a lot of money. We were never poor. We never needed anything. But we were never like, never nice cars, never new homes or anything like that. So I found myself 23, 24, 25, 26 years old, making 100, 120,000. My wife making 80, combined incomes 200,000, with a nice little townhouse, with a nice little car. We better than 99% of people we know. But that was a killer. So that's the lesson. You cannot be the richest person of your circle. If you're the richest person of your circle, you need a new circle. You guys understand that? So I got comfortable. They said that most danger zone is the comfort zone. And I got comfortable. I got comfortable with the income because I have never made those type of incomes in my life. We were driving a nicer car than the neighbor. You know what I mean? We took a Hawaii vacation more than most people. They edify you like you walk on water. Like, not from you, I'm just saying. You didn't really do that. But so you almost believe it. You're like, man, I hit it. I'm the guy. You dress suit and you walk into an office, you have an assistant. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And if that's all you want, then stay there. Because some of you guys are like that. But I don't want to stay there. Let me tell you what moved me. Going to an event kind of like this. Small event. It was like a fast start school or something like that. Well, a Super Saturday. How we do Super Saturdays. It wasn't a World Bowl. It wasn't a convention. And my wife, which she's quiet, shorty, but very competitive, right? And she was at work, 6, 7 years while I was trying to build this business. She helped me a lot. And I remember going to an event one day. We sit in the front, and Eric starts doing a bunch of recognition, like, this guy's the next, whatever, right? And he recognized like the new S&D, the brand new Ring Murder, the brand new this, like a bunch of people. And every single one of them took a moment to thank me. Say, you know what, I just want to thank blah, blah, but I also want to thank Juan. Man, Juan was my field trainer. If I didn't, like Randy, Juan was my field trainer. If it wasn't for Juan, I wouldn't even be here. So I just want to thank you, Juan, for, and people are like, oh, that's awesome. Thanks, guy. Man, I love recruiting when Juan came and trained right now. Like, everybody has something to say to me, right? And my wife's sitting there and she goes like, boom, like one of those, if you're married, you know what I'm talking about. You're not married, you'll find out. And she goes, boom, and I'm like, what happened? And I'm like, oh, this guy is right. She's like, you tell me that you train almost all these guys? I'm like, yeah. And so I said, why we're not up there? I'm like, she's like, if you train all these guys, obviously you're good, honey. She goes, I'm like, but why are we not winning? Why are we not where we're supposed to be? I remember, I even posted it on my group meeting. Convention of 2011 changed my life. I remember going to my wife and said, honey, have you got your dress yet for the gala night? And I remember, that was already 6, 7 years in the business. And she's like, I don't even want to go to convention this year. I'm like, why? It's convention, we cannot miss. And Eric said, we have to go to convention. She's like, no, for what? She's like, what? This much. And then again, if you're a man, you know what I'm talking about. She's like, why do you want me to go get a nice dress? I've been doing that for the last 6 years, and we never walk on stage. I'm like, what do you want me to get a dress for? And I'm like, sure, you're right. But that got me though, different. Yeah. So like, we all dress nice, and all that, we just out there clapping like idiots. He told me to be direct, yes? Right? Because everything that changes is pain. So, I was up there, and I was clapping, and literally, like, I was like, and then Jeff Levitan goes on stage, and reads a story called The Cow. I don't know if you guys heard the story or you were there, but you weren't there like I was. Like I literally felt like he was reading the story to me. Like, you know, have you seen those movies, like those bright lights, like the whole stadium goes dark, and it's just me and Jeff? That's how I dream about it. And I was talking, and the whole story, and I was trying to figure out, like, why we're not moving? I know, I got all the skills, I got all the talent, what the heck is holding me back? And I told my boss, I said, honey, you hold me back. Like, what do you mean? I'm the one supporting you. I'm like, I do your job. Because I'm comfortable not knowing that even if I screwed up this whole thing, you make enough money to pay the bills. So I'm playing in the office. I'm not really, I'm taking 3-hour lunches. I show up at the office at 9 o'clock just so you think I went to work, but I'm not doing anything. And then the guys come and say, hey guys, you guys have lunch yet? I'm like, no, why, what's up? Oh, let's go downtown, let's go. We'll prospect in the meantime. Yes, we don't prospect. Right? 2-3-hour lunches, come back because you have a 3 o'clock and a 6 o'clock, and 3 o'clock cancels. And now you're just running around the office, texting some teammates, thinking that's how you're going to build people by text, right? And then your 6 o'clock reschedule, and then now you go home at 9 o'clock, your wife saw you leaving at 9. 9 to 9, that's 12 hours. How was your day, honey? Woo! It was a day. It was tough. And then in the meantime, she was working, waking up in the morning, going to work, really working. So I had to look at myself, like, man, I'm screwing up. You know what I mean? So I remember me going down and saying, so you need to quit your job. It's like, I can't quit my job. If I quit my job, I can't pay the bills. But let me remind you, $100,000 that I was making, first and foremost, was not consistent. It will be 1 month 20, the other month 300. The other month 7,000, the other month 4,200. So my wife didn't really know what we meant until we did our taxes. Because we were like, this is the annual income, but she didn't know in and out what it was. You know what I'm talking about? And 100,000 in the Bay Area, you take 30% of taxes, you pay your office, you pay your assistant, you're broke. So I needed my wife to still work, you know what I mean? So anyways, we went through that, and the reason why I'm going to show you some lessons, because if you were like I was, by the way, I was very frustrated with my team. Anybody feels the same way? Who's frustrated with your team? You don't want to raise your hand because your team's right here. But let me tell you something, they need to know you're frustrated. Maybe I'll do more time. Who's frustrated with their team? Let me tell you the reality. The frustration is with you. You know what I mean? The frustration is with you, so don't be afraid to raise your hand. That's really you. So I was tired. I was like, man, I'm going to wait. I got tired of taking pictures of Eric. Walking into the convention. For real. Like I would walk with Eric, you know, convention. Eric's a big guy. Oh my God, that's Eric! People will run. Eric. Can you take a picture of me? Can I take a picture with you? Yeah. You. Another picture. Eric's like famous, right? And I'm like, and then Eric's nice enough to say, by the way, let me introduce you. This is one of my directors. And they're like, oh, hi. They're like, and I'm like, I'm not even going to convention with you, walking close to you. And then you know what he told me that? He's like, oh, just do something big enough so they know you. Like, don't even have you taking pictures. You can do something about it. I'm like, you're right. So I had to go make a name for myself. Right? So a lot of those things changed for me. And I'm going to show you some of the lessons that I learned that helped me change. And I'm going to show you what happened in the process. By the way, I was in the company 6-7 years, no S&D. I think I had one S&D, but never really did anything. I was earning at $110,000. I was renting a small little office inside the office, nothing crazy. Again, 10 recruits, 7, 5, 12, 30, 9, you know, like up and down. You guys get it. You guys get the point, right? And I started looking at something needs to change. So number one that I did, after that, I changed to kind of where we are right now. You can go next slide, please. I'm pressing the towards. So I find myself a mentor. How many times have you heard, get a mentor, get a mentor, get a mentor, get a mentor, get a mentor? All right, so check this out. I was misunderstanding myself. I thought I had a mentor. So they kept talking about, get a mentor, get a mentor, get a mentor. So one time, by the way, that's my pastor. So that's my faith mentor, which is speaking at Harris Pulpit today. It's funny. He's like an MI there, literally on Jesus. I'm like, no, for real, he's like intense. And then this is over the Eric, you know, right? So I remember me calling Eric one day, hey man, can I have 5 minutes with you? Like, what's up on that? was that question? You're my mentor, right? I go like, I was in the company for 7 years. And I'm like, you're my mentor, right? And you're like, what do you mean? I'm like, you're my mentor, like, you're my direct upline. I've been with you for 7 years. You're my leader. Like, you're my mentor, right? And then he's like, have you ever asked? And I'm like, well, no, but like come on. Like, you're into us, like, it's almost like even. And he's like, no, you have never asked. I'm your upline, I'm your leader. That's way different than mentoring. I'm like, you want me to be your mentor? I will. That's going to have to be something you have to do in order for me to mentor you. I'm like, oh, of course I want you to mentor me. And the moment you mentor me, you see it's different. A lot of years, you think your upline SMD is your mentor, or you think Christopher is your mentor. Well, have you asked? By the way, mentorship is earned. And you have to go out there and do it. And one thing I found out that they're not going to come and say, hey, I know you're going to be a mentor. They're not going to do that. What are you supposed to do? You go next. And by the way, you know when. It's kind of like right now I'm sick. I told my wife, as soon as I get home, have a warm soup, you know? Like when you need help, you tell them. So if you need help, right, you need to go now. So that changed my entire business. I started seeing the company in a different way. He started telling me things that he wasn't telling me before because he didn't think I could take it. I'm like, come on, man, I'm not going nowhere. I'm here for the next 50 years. I'm here for life. And if you leave, I'll be with you. I'm with you. I'm not with other people, I'm with you. Right? So tell me what I need to do to grow. And he started coaching me, and that helped me. And then on my page, I started going to church. I started being more every Sunday's church. I got involved in church, and I started doing a lot of this. But that helped me. That helped me to really understand what I want to do, and that helped me with my team. Because again, you're frustrated, right? But you're frustrated with yourself. One of the things I heard, I don't know who said it, so like, if you want to find all the solutions to the problems, every single one of them, they're in front of the mirror. It just takes guts to look at it. Because you know that's the answer. You know the answer to blowing up your bake shop? You. Don't wait for your MD that's not doing it. Because if you would have done it, you would have done it already. You control the environment. I'm going to tell you right. So I changed myself, right? Next slide, please. So after I found a mentor, I changed my association. Right? I changed my association. That's other than like my brothers. I was just at Bartles waiting in Acapulco that Sunday. That's probably where I got sick. But that's Randy, that's Eric, those are like my brothers. Ed in Hawaii. I just took a picture of Ed now because I hang out with Ed all the time. I see him like once every 3 years. But the associations, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have, outside of those I don't have no one that makes millions of dollars that I can call and they answer. So, and the reason why I post that picture of Momentum, because I don't even know who did it. That someone did that post and they sent it to me. I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. But look at all the speakers, look at who's on that list. Joe DePaula, and then they put a picture of me because I was one of the speakers. And the reason why I like that, not so much, but I'm like, just to be associated with a group of people. Who would have thought? Just for them to think like, whoever did this poster, put all those pictures and they put me. Why? So the reason what I'm telling you right now is, ask yourself a question. Who's your association? Who do you hang out with? And don't take it the wrong way. If all you hang out with your team, it's not a good thing. Because you're the richest guy in that group. I hang out with my team a lot, but not like all the time. I separate myself. Me and Eric, we meet once a month. It's a 3-hour lunch. And that's me and him reviewing my business, looking over my financial, like, just coaching me in my business once a month. We have all 4 months booked for the entire year, because that's what mentors do, right? Sometimes he's out on me, or we adjust things. But associations. I like hanging out. You know what I love about the picture on the top the most? I'm the lowest income earner. That's why I like it the most. That's why I like it. You see, you need to maintain yourself uncomfortable to change. The first 6, 7 years, I was comfortable. I was the cool guy, driving a nicer car. Now, are you kidding me? I don't know why I'm in that picture, but I like it because it pushes me up. So, again, question. Right now, what are you going to do different this year? Number one thing I would say, find someone that can get. The reason why you need to find a mentor, mentor someone that will tell you exactly how to get to the point because they've been there already. It's pretty simple. Number 2, surround yourself with people that will push you. Me, Mario, and Randy, we want to kill each other every day, just so you know. In the little bullets, not physically. But we love each other. I was at Mario's wedding, as part of his wedding. We bonded, but we compete. And that's just part of the association we have. So you need to check your association. I start building leaders. Those are just some executive council leaders that I have in my team. I went from just me to a bunch of great people in my organization. I love that quote. It says, leaders become great not because of their power, but because of the ability to build and develop others. At the end of the day, you need to understand something very simple. WFG is not about you. It's about who you develop. It's about your leadership, right? It's about the moment you're not in the room, who runs the show. Eventually, don't you want to do that? Like I remember, I love this business that Christopher was able to build. Look, a couple of years ago, a couple months ago, we went through something where he can step out 4, 5, 6 months and his business keeps running. I want that. I don't want to be where I have to be there. If I'm sick, my business is sick too. No. I want to build a business. I signed up for a business, right? So you need to be associated and start developing leaders. By the way, when you go to CEO meetings and ABC meetings, you know how you really get ranked? By how many leaders you develop. Not how much money you made last month. It's how many leaders do you develop, how many offices do you have, how many ring learners, how many, and guess what, that's a definition of leadership. So I start focusing on leadership, I start reading books, I start working on John Maxwell, I start reading Matthew, I do all that. I was listening to music on my car, no longer music in my car, I have a bunch of iPhones on my iPhone. You will not find one game, and you will not find one song. It's about 33 books, right? And I just listen to my son. I drop out Jacob, he's 9, I have 2 boys, you'll see him right now. Jacob 9, and Christopher 1.5, right? Almost 2. And me and Jacob, I'm busy. Who's a parent here? Who feels sometimes a little bit guilty because you're at the office a lot, like right now and all that stuff. Let me tell you something. Yeah, it's okay to feel guilty because that's just the nature and our you're supposed to be with your kids. But then the reasons why you're doing it, involve them in your dream. Let them know. Like one thing I do every single day is I drop off Jacob to school. That's me and him. His school is about 20 minutes away, so me and him, I wake up, I make a breakfast, right? I get him ready, I take him to school. That's me and him. Not my wife, just me and him. I take him to school, we talk in the car, I coach him a little bit, be tough, don't let little bullies, and how's it going, and how many girlfriends now, and just give him But I coach him, and I tell him, and then every time he gets out of the car, I drop him on the car, say, hey, remember, what's the Jaime thing? And the Jaime's don't give up. He says that every day. I'm like, all right. Well, they're making it happen, and every day. But I don't pick him up, and sometimes I don't have dinner with him. But I do that, that's like my time. And sometimes I do try to balance my time. Let me tell you something. When you're going to build a big business, it's going to be a little bit messy. What's going to build a home or build something? When you build a home, how is it in the process of building it? Machines, construction workers, you know, like construction materials everywhere. It's messy, right? Yeah. And then when it's done, like, wow, beautiful home. But in the process of building it, how was it? Unorganized, messy, up and down. Well, guess what? When you're building a business, it's going to be a little bit messy. But your goal should be focusing on the end result. So if you have kids, give it involved. Let them know. So what I'm telling you is like play audio in the morning, and Jacob hears it. And he likes it. He's like, oh, okay, you put the other guy that you put yesterday. And he likes the little audio stuff that I listen to. And he's 9, but he gets it already. I was just showing you guys how he talked to my SMD group yesterday, right? I brought my SMDs to my house yesterday to do like a 2017 launch. And I brought food for everybody and all that stuff. And Jacob comes from home and says, hey, Bobby, this is all of our SMDs, right? I'm like, well, they're not going to be that. You gotta go build your own, right? And he's like, can I get 5 minutes? I need 5 minutes. I'm like, you don't talk to him? He's not shy. Like, don't stick his spoke out elbow, right? And he's nice. They're so confident. I want you guys to understand that WFG will do more for you and your life and your family more than just making money, right? And this little guy goes in the front, and they're doing something in school for raising money for kids with cancer in their blood cancer, something like that. So he goes and sells them, like a little BPM. We did this, and mine goes to collect the most, and whoever collects the most gets pizza party. And I know you guys all make money, my dad always talks about it. And he had like the box, and blah, 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 like $450. And I even told him, whatever you collect, I match, right? So he's like, oh my God, I cannot wait till Monday that I'm going to show up with almost $1,000. And he was so excited. But what I'm telling you is like, you can still have that. If your family's around you, you're not going to. Let me tell you when you feel guilty. When you are at work, not working. Yeah. Like I used to feel guilty the first 7 years. Oh my God, they're growing up without me. Well, then go home then. But when you're at home, stop texting your team. Be at home. Put your phone away. Play with them. Get on your knees. Play with them. Be at home. But there's a problem. We are home, working in our teams. Right? Daddy, can you have a minute? Hold on. Just one more message. One more touch. Hold on. Like that. You being on the couch watching TV does not mean home. Right? And then when you are at work. And the problem is we are at work, we think of our family. You guys so I'll challenge you guys. Do you guys want to balance it? When you're at work, bust it, sweat, forget to eat. Like just give it everything you got. And then when you're at home, be at home. If I can give you that tip, that will work. But when your leadership appreciate and respect that. That's what my leader said. What I appreciate about you the most, not just the business, but the way you have built it. Where your family's involved, your kids are in the office on time. We go to your home, and the way you are on stage is the way you are at the house, and they know what's up. And that's you guys need to do that, but it starts with making a decision to become a leader and building leaders. Another thing, which I was telling you guys on the way here, you need to enjoy the ride. You can be here for the next 30, 40, 50 years and be miserable. One thing we do is we have a lot of fun. I don't know about you, but like every month there's something going on in my team. Right? You guys need to do that if you haven't. I will just give you an example, and I'm going to give you guys some notes at the end, but every month I have a bake shop contest. Every month we're doing something. I'm bringing 80 people to the Transamerica Tower next Friday night. Like we always do stuff. We just got back from Acapulco. I'm running a Puerto Rico contest. And not all the time, but we have a lot of fun. I was telling them, on my Sundays is almost like a tour on my teams. Like, I'm invited for a barbecue, and then I have to go to the baptism, and then I have to stop at a church, and then like Sunday, but I bring my family with me. Like, hey, can you come to my house on Sunday? We're having a little barbecue with our team. I'm coming with my family. Sure. And it's part of building your organization, but at the same time spending time with your family. You know what I mean? But let me ask you a question. If I come into your team right now, am I going to have fun? Or is just another financial institution? One thing Henry does, man, we have fun. We go to NFL games, we go to basketball games. I just learned that if you don't have fun through the journey, you're going to be miserable at the destination.
All right.
That's it, bottom line. So when they announce a contest, run for it. Even if it's like, hey man, this Sunday's family day, we got to get together at Martin Luther King Park from 2 to 8, bring a dish to share, bring your families, I got to rent a jumper, we're going to have fun, we're going to play volleyball. Okay. You'll be surprised how much people appreciate that. And then that's the only time you actually get to meet a husband. Because the husband doesn't come to the PPN, but now he shows up on Sunday with his best dish to share. You guys know what I'm talking about? I did that. I was not doing that the first 6 years. I'm telling you what I did different that blew up our team. Right? Another one. This is huge. That was me speaking last year at a convention. Someone took that picture and sent it to me. That was pretty cool. Right? And who would have thought, like, me going to convention from clapping to be dissatisfied to now speaking on stage? You know what I mean? Let me tell you why I took that picture, why I put it here. You need to know you belong here. One of the biggest killers you can do to yourself is that you see all these big guys on stage. I remember me going to a convention, and by the way, respect them. That's one thing I do. I respect every single person that's been here before me. You know why? Because they done it. They paid the price. This company wouldn't be here if it wasn't for every single one of them, whether you like it or not, what color or jacket they're wearing, don't matter. They were here before us, they done things for us, and this company wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. So one thing I do, I respect them. One thing I don't do, I don't analyze them. This is two different things. One thing is respect them. And the moment you feel you belong, you're part of that, you can be part of one of them. You can also be with them. You can go and have lunch with them. They're regular people like you and I. When I felt like I belonged in this company, I remember Eric goes and showed me like a leadership poster they had with like 20, 30 people there. And he showed it to me. He's like, what do you notice in this picture? And I'm like, well, it's like all the big guys in the company. He's like, but what do you notice in this picture? And he's like, well, there's only one Latino. And he's like, we need more. He goes like that. He's like, we need more. And when he told me that, I'm like, yeah, but do you really think like I can be? Like, who questions themselves like that sometimes? Let's be real. You know, like, I see them, but man, I don't know if that's me. I don't know if there's like a space for me. I mean, I see them on stage, the way they live, and I don't know. You'll be surprised that if you put your head down and work, you're closer than you think. And the crazy part is when you get there, they welcome you with open arms, because you know what they know? They know the sacrifice and all the hard work you did because they've done it. Their question is, why did it took you so long? That's really the question. When you get to that level, their question is, why did it took you so long, man? They're out there waiting for us. You know what I mean? So you need to go out there and run. You need to go out there and make it happen. So one of the things that changed my business is when I felt I belong here. Like, I remember me going to home office and see the pictures. You guys don't have those CEO, ABC pictures. I'm like, man, would I ever have a picture here? I don't know anything like I was, but I did. And now to have one there, like, exciting. You guys get it? And I'm no different. Just like you and I, we can go out there and make it happen. So just know we belong here, guys. This is a good one, too. But with much expected, much is required. You need to understand you have to be willing to pay the price. That's me right there on this year, my birthday. That's JJ, that's CJ. Christopher and Jacob. Right? That's on my birthday. Wow, but you're in EDC, you're already pretty successful. What are you doing? Yeah, but I'm not where I want to be. So my kids, my my wife brought their kids to the office to spend a couple hours with me, because my birthday landed on Thursday or something like that, so I was at work. You know what I mean? I was at the office. But they're like, oh, so they surprised me. I walk into the office and they're like full of balloons and gifts and cake. But I was at the office. We run a VPN that day, we have fun, like whatever it takes. And the reason why I put that there is because a lot of like, well, you know, it's casual Friday. Yeah, it's casual Friday when you're financially independent. When you're not financially independent, it's just another day. You know what I mean? You have to go out there and work. So that's why I put that there. Thank God it's Friday. No, it's the grind includes Friday. You want to be successful, you want to go and have all the stuff that all these guys have, you have to go out there and grind. Right? And that's the definition. Some of you guys, thank God it's Friday. Right? Happy hour. At Chevy's at 3 o'clock. Well, that's most people. Or you go out there and become different. I put that picture because I love it. I have it in my office too. It said, have you ever noticed why you've never seen a Lamborghini commercial on TV? Have you noticed that? Because the people that can afford a Lamborghini are not watching TV. That's why they don't have commercials on Lamborghini. And a lot of us, maybe there's one habit you can change this year. Watch less TV. I don't watch TV. My wife knows. I get home at 1 in the morning, I watch ESPN for 30 minutes. That's it. That's what I watch. Even yesterday, when I was super sick, believe it or not, I can read the text just so you know I'm not lying. I'm super sick, I'm at home after all my team left. I took some medicine, I passed out, and then I woke up, it was like 9:15, we watched a movie, I even texted on my way here to the place, hey, I enjoyed watching a movie with you yesterday. I'm like, it was different. We don't watch movies at the house, because we're working. You guys understand that? So I just want to challenge you guys. You want this year to be different? You're going to have to make some, I don't call it sacrifices. Sacrifice is something that you kill and you never see return. You'll be like, sacrifice this chicken. You know, like, we don't sacrifice, right? We do investment, because what's an investment? You expect return. So stop taking the word sacrifice. I'm sacrificing my family. No. You're investing the time away from your family, so later you can have all the time in the world. You guys get it? Yeah. But you have to be willing to go out there and do it. And this is just like showed it. At the end of the day, this is what it made very clear to me, right? I didn't go into all my story about when I was up in the business. Who has family that are negative? Like your uncles or neighbors or even mom, dad sometimes, stuff like that, right? Well, remember I told you about a house when I was 22? Right? Well, then based on the market, I lost it, right? I short sold it. And then we bought another little house. And I was already in WFG. And everybody was like, wow, look at Warren WFG. And boom, I short sold that one too because we couldn't keep up the payments. It got so bad, and I'm not afraid to tell you, because if you're going through that, just so you know, you need to continue going. I remember me going to my mother and asking her to help me to pay my mortgage. You know how embarrassed I was? Me trying to sell her the dream that her daughter married this guy, but yeah, can you let me borrow for my mortgage payment? But I had to do it. I remember me saying, honey, it's a PG&E or Comcast. You know? It's an office rent or mortgage. And guess which one I picked? Of course, the office rent, right? So when we went through that, a lot of people made fun of us, like big time. Oh, look at the big shot. Lasky's home again. I thought, how's that WFG thing? You see, why don't you just go back and get a real job? And I remember you guys heard that? The biggest one that impacted me the most was my dad, because my dad's always been super supportive of me, right? Always, always. And I remember one time my dad comes and tells me, because he's out there struggling. By the way, they worry for you because they care. They just don't understand that that's part of the process, you know what I mean? So I remember my dad pulled me aside one day and said, what are you? I know you've been already struggling, I heard you guys talking about your credit card debt, and your WFG thing is not working. Why don't you just go back and, you can always come back. And I'm like, no, Dad, I'm not going to do that. I'd rather recycle cans at midnight. I'm like, I'm not doing this thing. I just don't. And you're like, well, because I worry about you. And I'm like, don't worry about it, I'm not going to do this. It's stupid. I'm going to make this work. So anyways, time passes. I get out of my comfort zone. We start becoming really more successful. Pay the credit cards down, buy out of the house, and start moving up, right? About 3 years ago, my dad told me one time, by the way, when you become successful, you become a banker. You have to be careful. So my dad called me and said, Nico, are you home? I want to stop by. And when that happens, I know. I'm like, yes, Dad, you can stop by. I need to get a checkbook. Right? And then my dad comes and says, hey, I just got back from Mexico, and they didn't give me the job again, and I have like a month due, and the rent, and the mortgage. And I said, that's fine, Dad, I know. I'm like, how much? And they don't ask for the $300. I'm like, oh, I was just thinking just a couple thousand, $3,000, $4,000, just look at that area that next couple months. And I'm like, that's fine. So I told Veronica, how do you get a check? And she's like, I got it ready. And I go like this. And I did that on purpose for them to understand. So I write a checkbook, right? And I'm sitting me and my dad, and I go like that. Yeah, man. And I go like that. And then he goes like, wow. I'm like, remember when you told me to quit? No, but he meant what I said. And then he started crying. And I know that's not what I meant. I'm like, no, that's not what I meant. I'm like, what he meant was, what I was trying to tell him, I'm like, oh, look at me laugh. I was just saying, I told you this was going to work. It's just because it gets hard doesn't mean you have to quit. But are you going to quit on everything that gets hard? No, you have to continue to keep going. So the reason why I'm showing you this is because now, I just have to bring my wife to a nice Range Rover that she always wanted to, right? But, you know, I drive a decent car, nothing crazy. My wife made me, by the way, just so you know, she made me buy that Corvette. I didn't buy it. So you need a toy. And then that crazy car, right? I just sold that Escalade, bought a brand new Range Rover. That thing was expensive, but I drive by 750 alive to the office. I drive down on Saturdays and weekends. And it's not a fancy, $7 million home. But guess what? You know what I like about it? No debt on the picture. You know what I mean? And it's just but the crazy part is 5 years ago, I couldn't write you a check of $5,000. Literally, I couldn't. I can write you a check right now of 7 figures. And that's the goal. You see, the goal is not just get the rings and get the promotions. Those are great. But I don't cash my promotions at the bank. I don't go and say, you don't understand, but I'm EBC. I don't work like that at Chase Bank. They don't care who you are. Even at Molson, when you introduce them to new guests, oh, I'm introducing my SMD. Who? SMD? Okay. I don't know what that is. You know what I mean? So I want to challenge you guys. The biggest thing that I want to give you here is, do you know your why? Is it clear? Some of you guys say, yes, I know it. But do you really know it? Like, did you wake you up at night? Like, those two little guys right there, I want them to be different. They grow up different. Jacob's 9 years old, he's been to Hawaii 9 times. He thinks that's what people do. And no, that's not what people do. Right? We went to his school the other day, he just got straight A's, he's a super smart little kid. And they were giving those diplomas, right? Like, he got all the, like that, the math diplomas and all that stuff, right? And then they go like, the perfect attendance kids. And my bunch of them, right? So I'm sitting with Jacob. And I said, Jacob, I'll be one who never come in. And they go like, that's okay, I like to travel. But think about it though. Think about it. I'm creating my kids' lives the way they want. I want to create it. Not what the systems tell me to do. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you right now, you have to be willing to do what it takes to reap their rewards. And everybody, every single one of you guys are closer than you think. And that was just some of the stuff that he was talking about. We grew, we opened offices. Eric Olson, the U.S. King, runs a pretty big organization. He ran a huge event on September 3rd. We took MVP of the whole event. You know, one of the things that I pride myself is I follow the 5 F's, right? Faith, finance, faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun. So I take care of myself. I was just showing a picture. I was in this group. I saw a picture the other day of a guy, like, hey, so I saw you working out, and me and Chris, we talk about it when we see each other and all that stuff, and I said, I do triathlons, not triathlons, Spartan races, and I signed up for a trifecta in Hawaii, I do some crazy stuff like that, and I like CrossFit stuff. But I was not like that. That was also a decision. I feel like the better I feel, the better I do, the better people respect you, not just because of the money, but just your stature, right? Right now we have 630 licensed agents in our team. By the way, when my wife joined me full time, because that's really the key. If I can tell you the key that changed my entire business 5 years ago, remember that killing the little cow? Okay, so now that you see what happened, that day we went to our room, we got invited to a party, and I said, why are we gonna go to a party celebrate for what? Right, so we went back to our room, and Paul, Hart, and Gabby were walking this way. There's no Paul and everyone. They were walking this way, we were walking this way, they're good friends of ours. And then Gabby tells Veronica, so when are you going to come in full time? And then I'm like, oh yeah, we kind of talk about that. So like, Juan needs you. Juan is doing everything he can, but he needs you, right? And then we put a plan, got a quicker job within 3-4 months, we saved the money. When Veronica joined me, I was at 37 licensed agents on your team. Think about it, 7 years in the business, I was at 37 licensed agents. You know, because I get terminated, but I'm like, man, that's no reason why we're not making any money. So she came and became the licensed person in my organization. She got people licensed right away. And boom, the moment we got more licensed agents, guess what happened to our organization? Promotions went up, rings went up, cash flows went up. Our goes to double up this year. We just had a huge meeting yesterday, like I was telling you in my house. Our goes 1,200 license agents this year, so double up. We call it double up, double. That means everybody get one. Pretty simple. 600, everybody get one. Right? Not hard to double if everybody has the same goal. But let me ask you a question. If you were frustrated, what are you doing different? I was. But I was frustrated to the point that made me change. You see, when you go work out, the reason why you don't work out, let's just say you haven't worked out for a long time, and then you go and you give it everything, you're like guys, right? Guys that haven't worked out, the first thing you go is do arms and chest. And then the next day you're like this. You know what I mean? But you know why? Because you were not used to it. If you keep working out every day, no matter how heavy you go, the next day you're not sore. It's the same thing in this business. The reason why your recruiting is not up and it goes not up because you don't stay doing the things that got you there. I asked you, Rachel, right? What's the most recruits you've done in a month, you said? In a base shop? 15, which is not a big number, but it's 15, right? I'm like, so how come you don't do it every month? Because they stopped doing the things that got them 15. You see, this is the biggest mistake we do. I recruit 15, I'm going to manage it. No, you're going to recruit another 15. That's what you do. One of the things that I got from Eric is always injecting volume. Always add. We're in the marketing business. No matter how many Starbucks coffees they sell, they're thinking of selling more. You know, McDonald's franchises keep opening no matter where they go. I want to challenge you guys. You need to be very clear on what business you're in. The moment I decide what business you're in, I'm in the distribution of outlets, I'm in the marketing business, not in financial services. It just happened to be that we sell insurance. But that's not the business we're in. I'm in the business of distribution. What is a distribution? Well, every licensed agent that can sell is an outlet for me. So question, if this was McDonald's, how many outlets do you have? How many Starbucks do you have? It's all about outlet. Some of you guys can run a very nice tight ship, but that's just you. If your business is you, then that's fine, if that's all you want. The moment you understand it's about distribution, you're gonna start growing. And one of the things that I started, I'm going to give you a big message right now, is how I started growing on my base shop. My base shop was never really big. I would say a year, I was doing 180 to 220 a year in recruits. You know, 10, 15, 0, you guys get it. Then I started doing stuff. I'm going to give you guys a contest that I run that completely changed my business. By the way, out of that contest, that month, 3 EMDs, $250,000 came out of it now, over the 5 years later. So if I would have not run the contest, half my team would have been here almost, right? And I know their codes. It's fun when you know their codes. They call it the 18 Club. 18 BET, 18 BEU, 18 YRN. And they're all independent leaders running their own offices. By the way, we found those people is like this. I was frustrated, and this was in 2012 or 13. And there was a big elite circle meeting that John Van, Penny Oil, Eric Olson, they did up in Fresno, in the middle of nowhere. And we went, and everybody was teaching, right? And John Fan goes on stage and said, one thing that helped my team when I run what is called last person standing contest. Who knows what I'm talking about? Last person standing. A couple of you guys? Okay, let me tell you what that is. That helped me. And if it helped you, great, go run with it. I ran a contest where I said, all right, because my base shop was dying. They wouldn't have a lot of people. We have 8, 10 people in my base shop. And a lot of them were older, meaning they were with me for a while. But they were not getting any momentum anymore. They were kind of like down, and they were not doing much. I would run announce a contest, and no one got excited. You know, like, I know you guys know what I'm talking about. So what I did is, all right, I'm going to help you build. I told them, I'm going to help you build. I'm the best at making phone calls. I'm the best at HI. But I cannot help you if you don't give me inventory. So this is what we're going to do for the next 30 days. Everybody's in. It's called last person standing. Every single day by midnight, you have to text me a prospect that you got that day. One prospect a day. That's all I need from you. One prospect. Not 8, don't send me 9. 1. And it has to be every day, fresh. Fresh a day, because I'm also trying to create a habit of them, right? One a day by midnight. If you don't send it by midnight, you're out of the contest. And I want to see at the end who's the last person standing. So check this out. So we did that. And my 8, 9 guys start prospecting. Everybody starts sending me the name. And that's the easiest phone call to do. And we're with Christopher. Yes, this is Christopher. Hey, Christopher, how you doing? My name is Juan. You know, 3 quality script. Got it. Set up a chai. Set up a chai. Set up a chai. So what I did is, you want to get your team excited and fired up again? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, half of you guys. Yes?
Yes.
You do someone for them. Even you, regardless of the level. Right? What's your level? SMD, SMD. How long have you been here? The best, most excited is if you go hire a direct, yes or no? Even right now, 12 years later, SMDs, if you go hire a direct, don't you the most fired up? Like at the BPM is different now. Yeah, you like coming. Like everybody's fired up. Well, just the way you feel, guess who feels like that? Your teammates. Now, I cannot tell you, don't get a direct because I've been telling you for 6 months and you don't do it. So send me the number, I'll do it. So think of it, if everybody send me 30 names, if you run the numbers, don't you think I'm going to hire at least 1 or 2 people? Yeah. And if I made the phone for 9% to meet with them, so guess what I did? I did that, and that month we recruited 29 people. Okay? And out of that, you know, like I said, those 3 names that came out of it are pretty solid people, right? And that month, let me tell you what changed. Emma and Nick came to talk to us at the Transamerica building, and Aaron Colson asked me to go pick him up. And I go pick up our old car, meet you in Transamerica. I'm like, okay. So I go pick Ed, and it was me and my wife, and Ed sits on the back, hey, Jaime, how you doing, blah, blah, we're talking, right? And I was so proud, hey, Ed, I did 29 recruits last month, you know? And they're like, I'll ask you. I'm like, why you did the month before? I'm like, 15. I'm like, why you did the month before? I'm like, 10. I'm like, I followed CEO Club. You know, now it's BBC, but I'm like 10, 15, now the goal was 25, we did 29, I'm on track. So what's the goal this month? Well, 35. Remember the CEO Club back in the day? And they're like, oh, that's good, man. Well, you don't need to do 35. I'm like, what? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, you don't need to. You want to blow up your base shop, and this is the thing that he told me, that's why I was asking if I have elbows, I want to show you guys that. He told me, dude, your base shop needs to do 25 recruits 3 months in a row, and your business will never be the same. Literally, he told me that on the car. If your base shop does 25 recruits 3 months in a row, your business, he didn't say base shop, he said, your business will never be the same. And I'm like, all right, I like that. By the way, we got to Transamerica, I don't even remember nothing about the meeting. I don't know who spoke, where we sat, nothing like it. No joke is like erased from my brain. It's kind of stupid, but it's true. I can't remember nothing. The only thing I remember is that drive conversation, like he told me, 25 months in a row. And the next one we did 29 again, the next one we did 27, and then we did 26. So we did it 4 months in a row. Let me tell you something, that's what I want to show you guys. From there, my business has never been the same. We went from 1 SMD to 33, right? We went from 100,000 to 750. My goal's $1 million by April. It's all mapped out. That's why I didn't go to many levels. I'm working, right? And we promoted 12 direct SMDs, 30 in the hierarchy, and then we went from SMD to EMD to CEO to EDC like in an 18-month window. And if I track it all the way back, I'm telling you right now, some of you guys remember where I was just 18 months ago. 25 base shop recruits, 3 months in a row. But I'm talking real base shop recruits, like people. You know, a lot of people recruit people, but they're like, my uncle, my cousin, my grandma, like those don't count. You know, they're like, hey, I got my 330. I'm like, who are they? I mean, I'm talking about people in the meetings, and then guess who controls that? The SMD. It's your base shop, it's your baby, you take care of it. So I did that. And since then, I'm telling you, never again has my business done, not even closer than 25 ever. Now, I should show you my stuff. Last year, we recruited 2,500 people. Right? We had over 6 million net points. So, now, how did we switch that? And I know you guys have Eli. You guys have Eli yesterday? Yeah. He was in my office about 4 or 5 months ago, too. Let me tell you something. It's all about the mindset. It's true. I never talk about that for a couple hours. It's all about mindset. It's how you think. If you think WFG is hard, it will be hard. If you think WFG is easy, which is not, but you think it's easy, at least tell yourself that. You know what I mean? It's simple because it's duplicatable. The reason why it's simple because it's steps. You just follow it. It's not easy because you still have to work. You know, that's when the whole system breaks down, when there's work involved. Right? Everybody wants to be successful until they know there's work. Right? I don't know if you noticed that. You notice how people at the VPN are fired up? Yeah! 4,000 a month part-time, sign me up! We have to go talk to people. What? You have to go get a license. How many questions? Like, one is that. And then you have to be here on Tuesdays. On Tuesdays I play basketball on YMCA. Well, not no more. Oh, I don't know. I don't like guys drop everything of what they're doing right now. I'm like, listen, man, you can always go back to the basketball league. You can always go back to playing softball once you're financially independent. Or at least financially stable. You don't have to be making $8 million a year, but at least get out of debt, pay your house, pay your mortgage, get some security under you. You notice how people that make money, like they walk a little bit different, they walk taller, they're more confident. You know what confident means? When we look into our bank accounts, that's how you get confidence. And not because someone tells you, and not reading your affirmations, by the way. I'm confident, I'm confident, I'm confident, I'm confident, I'm confident. Honey, the credit card bill is due. I'm confident. I'm not going to do it. You gain confidence by going out to make some money. Okay? So, that's That's one contest that blow my head. And by the way, the way you track it now is by text. Everybody has to text you by midnight. The next day, you do a full timer. You show up to the office, and you got your 10, 15, 20 calls to make. Hey, man, with so-and-so. One of my agent associates made you last night. We expanded in the area of Colorado. We're looking for some good people. How's your schedule in the next couple of days? I would love to sit down with you. I don't guarantee you anything, but based on what Q told me, I figure it makes sense for us to talk. I have a 3 o'clock and a 5 o'clock. What's available for you? You get him in, you recruit him. And then Q, he's at work right now, right? Imagine. Q, just want to let you know, man, I just got out of the for you. This guy's fired up. His uncle runs a big CPA from here. Man, I think this is going to be good for you. How's his day now? You're talking about firing up your team? Recruit someone for them. And then guess what? You also get a yourself. So when you do the whole last person standing, you compete with it. You get yourself, put your neck on the line. You say, by the way, I'm also going to get a number of day. And when I did that, by the way, when I did that with my team, I recruited a guy by the name of Peter Lee, one of my guys in my team, Tiger School #2 overall. And I recruited that guy on that contest. Isn't that crazy? Has 6 SMDs now, right? Like this close for CEO, and pretty stuck. And the way I recruited him, last person standing, it was April, right? It was Jacob's birthday. We went to the bowling alley. He was there working at the bowling alley. One day a month, because he's a nurse. And that day he happened to be there. And I prospered. This is just, get out there, man. People want to know what you do, right? By the way, let me tell you the biggest of all. So I was talking to them. If you've been here a little bit longer, sometimes you tend to lose a little bit of excitement. Let's be real. It's not as juicy as it used to be, right? You recruited a team, they quit. Recruit a team, they quit. Recruit a team, they quit. So automatically it's all like, why recruit them? No, you don't get it. You need to keep recruiting. Because what happens if you haven't found the right person yet? This is a numbers game. One thing I learned from Eric, this is a numbers game. The more people I put through the channel, the higher my chances will be. It's not about me. It's not about the company. It's not even about the weather. It's about if I get the right people into my organization. I'll tell you this. You're not going to promote any SMDs out of your base shop if your base shop is barely doing 10 recruits. Just so you guys know. Let me make that very clear. If your base shop is barely doing 10 recruits, no way you're going to, or if you're going to promote them, they're weak. The way you know when someone's ready to get promoted, let's just not mean you're ready. You're an SMD. MD. So whose base shop are you in? Okay, so let's just say, if they're MDs doing DDR, meaning double-digit recruiting inside your base, they do the 3 months in a row, then you're next SMDs. That's how you get promoted to SMD. It's doing BBC or DDR inside the base. That way you do it. By the way, if you don't do it inside the base, you probably will never do it as an SMD. So be careful. Right? So you guys have to do that. That's one thing that helped me. Another thing that helped me with my team is I created departments in my office. Let me tell you what I mean by that. My wife did this, by the way, not me. But when Veronica joined me full time, I remember the first day. So she shows up to the office and says, all right, so what now? And I'm like, well, I don't know. Weird. Like, I don't know. What do you want to do? So well, what do you do when you usually come? I'm like, you don't want to know. I'm like, let's go to do something. Let's call the team. Let's do an emergency meeting, like all that stuff. And then she's like, you know what? Bring the business down to me. And I'm like, well, so you buy someone to VPA, you recruit them, then you do a fast car, and then you take an appointment. So what she created, what I'm trying to tell you, she created an department. So right now what we do, we have a license coordinator, we have a processing center, and then I do the leadership and training. So when let's just say I recruit you, and I meet with you the next day, then I introduce you to my license coordinator, she takes some more license stuff. And I don't talk about licensing at all. All I'm going to tell you is, what's your test? Let's go, how many hours? Ready? I have a license coordinator, but I'm the license motivator. Got it? I'm the one, hey, you don't get your license, no check, no money, no, you know, I'm motivating you, but I'm not the one on the line. You think I have time to sit down and help you run your 32 hours? By the way, if you're doing that right now, that tells me you're small. Or you don't think long term. I remember when Chip Howard came in one time, and Mario Bayona, one of our EVCs under Eric, was doing pretty well now, but back in the day, he got a horrible persistency. I'm talking about like 30%, 30-40%. And Chip Howard from San Diego comes from business background. He run dealerships before and all that stuff. Said, Mario, you 30% persistency? Talk to your assistant. And then he's like, I don't have an assistant. I'm like, oh my God, what do you mean you don't have an assistant? No wonder. And then he goes like, I cannot afford one. I'm like, no, you don't get it. Give me your statements. And he goes like that. I'm like, you made $110,000 last year. In chargeback, you got $210,000 in chargeback. So you're pretty good. I'm like, so you paid your assistant $200,000. You just never had it. It already costs you $200,000 not having an assistant. So like, you can tell me you cannot afford one, you cannot afford not having one. And if you got an assistant, it can start working out. So I'm telling you right now, if you're an SMD, you don't have a solid assistant, you're not in the game. You're not in the business. And I'm not talking paying $100,000 a year, but share someone, manage it with a couple people, but you need to have it. That's something that my wife did for me. She came and structured my business. How do I sit? Now we have like 6 people staff, and our branch manager, and my office is 10,000 square foot office, and I was there. We run big meetings. I have a room that fits 400 people. We have a stage like this with 2 screens on the side. We run Tuesdays and Saturdays and Wednesday PMs. It's like a show every Tuesday and every Saturday, right? We do liturgicals every quarter, but it didn't start like that. It started from really getting out there and doing the thing. By the way, Ray's going to be here more than 12 months. And remember, this is not racing time. This will be 6 months. This is 12. All right. So most of you, I guarantee you right now, very rare that whether Dan or Christopher or me, that we sit down with you and we can teach you really anything new. By now, you know exactly what you need to do. At least the basic stuff. You know how to recruit, you know how to prospect, you know how to make a phone call, you know the fast start. By now, 12 months, you know exactly. It's not a skill factor. For you, it's a will factor. Would you do everything we thought you to do? It's not a skill. We already know how to do that. It's would you do it? And the moment you decide, I'm willing to do it, your business will change. So I did that, right? I did that, and I structured my office like a department. Like people come in and they know where to go. Policies, when someone collects an app, oh, they collected 2 apps. They know they have to go to the office, drop them off by 9 p.m., right? And then they go, and I have 3 assistants right out of my office with their chemicals. One is in charge of annuities, one's in charge of term LVs and term products, and the other one's a master of IUL. And they know where to go. And they get processed and submitted, and blah, blah, says thank you, come out, and like a business. When they call me, like I even had a lady that told me the other day, hey, Juan, you know which annuity is paying the most? No, I really don't. Because I don't run an annuity business, I run a recruiting business. Talk to me about recruiting, you want products? Call the girls. You need to create an image for you people to know what to come for you for. If you have a lot of people in your team still coming for everything for you, they know it's a one-man show. Or one-woman show. It's okay to do it at the beginning. But at least I'm telling you right now, when I change my business, you don't want to do it forever. I'll tell you what, you good? You guys learning something though? Yeah. All right. Let me tell you one of the biggest things that also helped my business change on building the base shop. I tell you, have fun. We run contests every month. We do contests every month. Every month there's something. And it doesn't have to always be money. It can be like, I'm telling you, if you do 3:30, we're gonna go have dinner. And I pay for the dinner for the 4 or 5 people that did it. Or like I get Eric, hey bro, can I get an hour of your time next month? You're like, yeah, for what? Just an hour for lunch. Okay. And then I can come and say, Conference of Americans, whoever that's 3:30, we're having lunch with Eric. He didn't know it was gonna jump 28 people. It's an hour of his time. You know what I mean? And everybody wants to have lunch with Eric. Okay, that's fine. I don't have an ego. Leverage it. It's my leader. Go for it. Ask him questions. And what's funny, they ask the same questions they ask you. But somebody else said it, like, can you believe every single question? He said that. But guess what? Do it anyways. So write that down. Leverage each other. If you have an ego in this business, I don't know how far you can go. Check your ego in the parking lot. At the end of the day, it's about making a business for your family, and if you need help from other people, guess what? Don't ask for help. There's nothing, by the way, don't be surprised how much people are willing to help. But you have to ask for help. So I leverage everything. Hey Mario, man, you killed it last month. Can you do a conference call for my base shop? Yeah. Hey, Puebla, at least one recruiter, one sale, gonna get in a conference call with executive vice chairman. Oh my God. And I send them to those, I send them the conference number to those that did one-on-one. Like little contests like that. Now, once you start getting financially more stable, then you can do contests more like raffle tickets, or I was just giving an example. I always do reimbursements or contests that has to do with the business. I never give them cash. I never, give them a car or anything like that. I do like, I want people to go to Volvo's, then around 2-3 months before Volvo, I do like, whoever does this, because the Volvo reimbursement. But you have to go to reimburse it. So that means I'll see you over there. So if they don't show up, I don't give them the reimbursement. Hey, but I won, but you weren't there. So I always run little things that's related to my business. And we do the once a month picnic with the team. And, depending on where you live or how you live, I bring a lot of my teams to my house. Every year we have a Valentine's thing in our home. My wife likes doing that. We invite about 35 couples that we handpick, and we treat them nice, red carpet to our house, we have a photo booth, we decorate the whole house, we go in the backyard, we have heaters, music, live, DJ, bar, and they look up to it every year for it. And it doesn't cost much, maybe a couple grand, but it's once a year. And they love it. Let me tell you something, the moment they start seeing you more than just your SMD, I want you guys to think about that. The moment they start seeing you just as the upline, or as my leader, the moment they see you more, I wanna, like, Eric knows, and I'll run through a wall for that guy, because he's done a ton for me, you know what I mean? So the moment people feel like, man, I'll take a bullet for this girl, I'll take a bullet for this guy, that they're being there for me, and loyalty and stuff like that, then you got them. Now, you have to plant a lot of seeds to do that. And don't do it strategically because you want to just do it anything, like you really care for people. You have to care for people. Another thing we do with our bake shop is monthly conference calls. Depending on the size of your bake shop, you can do weekly conference calls on Sunday nights, Monday nights. I do conference calls with my bake shop, and what I do is I get a guest speaker on the call for 20, 30 minutes. I do my call because I want to deliver a message to my bake shop, but I want to have like someone on the call, like, hey Chris, can you log into the call right now? Can you do a 20-minute call for me? Or whoever, Eric, Mario, Randy, Chip, whatever I have access to. And I do a bake shop call, and I do recognition on my bake shop and whatever I have to do. Another thing that's been working lately that helped me a lot is my VPN. This might sound crazy because I got this from Eric, so it works. We spend about 30 to 40 minutes on recognition. Like, who brought gas? We make it a huge deal. Like, let's just say this is my VPN, and the sharpest guy goes on stage and breaks the floor, right? All right, good evening. Just want to welcome all of you, blah, blah, blah. All right, guys, raise your hand, follow Michael. And they go, everybody, sit down. And now they sit on general session. On the general group, and we do recognition. Stand up if you've brought a guest, and everybody stand up. All right, give it up. How many guys you got? One. Okay, who brought more than two? All right, 3 of you guys come to this stage, and I have a big one of those spinning things in my office, right? And it has like dinner, gift card, an hour with me, a mentor, Starbucks, coffee mug, markers, Sharpie, yellow notepad, pens, whatever, right? So anybody with 2 or more guests. So I got this from Junction. I asked them 3 years ago in Hawaii. Say, what have you done? Because my VPN is kind of dead right now. Like a lot of people don't bring any guests. They think it's training night. Okay, it's not. It's VPN. Bring people to meeting. You want training? Set up an appointment. That's where I train in the field. I'm in the office. So but a lot of people are like, just it's training night. I'm like, oh, mix it up, have fun, better music. But he gave me the spinning wheel. Start recognizing. Remember, write this down. Whatever you want more of, you recognize. You want more guests, recognize. So I started doing the whole more guests. Because before, I'm like, who brought guests? All right, good job, guys. Awesome. All right, bring more guests next week. But that's not exciting. But I'm like, who brought guests? Come to the front, spin the wheel. What do you got? Oh my God. Oh, gift card. He gets some gift card, give it up. Now, next guy. Oh my God, I got an hour for you. We need to book the time. And I buy lunch for them, and we go. Just, you might be thinking it's weird. Trust me, people love it. Right? Anybody with 10 or more gets a sword. What? Right? We give them a sword that costs $30. And they brought 10 guests. And out of 10 guests, we put 5 on the spot. And one of them becomes a superstar, or one of them becomes clients. I got my $30 back. But it creates energy and momentum. Don't ever be afraid of investing in your team. You know what has made me the most money in this company? Not my VULs, and not my IRA, not my business. You were just talking to me, what did you guys call? That you called your assistant and you got your lifetime earnings or whatever? Oh, yeah. No, I know. No, but, so what it is I did that. I put like, how much has WG made me since I've been here? I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good. And then I look at my IUL statements. I look at my VUL statement, which I frown up, and I'm like, still nah, this. By the way, this also includes trades and recognition, and this is just a statement. This is good for my kids when I'm 80. This is, so think about it, as an investor, if you're going to invest money, which one's giving you the biggest return? So where should you invest the most time and money and energy? In your business. I hate when my teams are cheap with their teams. Like when someone won a contest and they don't want to pay it. But like little things like that, I check them. Don't do that, because that loses your reputation. You don't want to do that. And sometimes you run a contest, pay for it. You said it. You know what I mean? But you just kind of keep your word. So a couple more. And then I'm going to finish. So we do the conference calls, we do the team, the meetings, we bring them into our house, we have fun. Also after that we do recognition, who brought a client, who helped a client. Anyway, we literally spend about 40 minutes. Okay? And another thing I do is I do a quarterly event. Every 3 months I do like some type of Super Saturday. I know some of you guys are already doing that. But I do it outside the office. There's a science. Now, if you're not big enough to do that, well, guess what? Like, for example, let's just say, we talk about it, right? You call an emergency meeting right now. How many people show up in your base shop? 10 people. Okay, so you can be like, hey guys, we got to do a meeting, quarterly meeting. If you do it in the office again, there's no magic. Well, but it's only 10. Find a good restaurant in your area that has a nice conference table in the back. Bring your 10 people there. Have water with lemon for them. And butter and bread. And then you go there, close the door, different setting. Different setting, different outcome. Don't forget that. Yeah, but that means buy dinner for everybody. So what? Well, ready? What you doing now got you where?
Here.
And what got you here won't get you there. So something has to change. So you don't need a podium with 800 people, a stage deal. You have 10, 20 people in your basement. Find a little restaurant. Find a hotel with a nice corner area to do a meeting. Bring them a steakhouse. Anyways, what I'm telling you is I got that a lot. I got that my leader. Eric does that a lot. And it works. Because you invest in your time. You invest in your time. People really appreciate it. And I got to end with this. Everybody wants to get the end result. Right? It's like healthy. Everybody wants to be in shape. But no one, think of it, when do people want to go and get in shape? Like resolutions of 2017, what is it? Make more money and... If I take off my shirt and I have a 6-pack, 8-pack, with, like you guys know what I'm talking about? I'll be like, I need to lose weight. I need to go into a diet. Probably not. As right now that I'm thinking, I'm like, really, I need to do that. You know what I mean? When do you go to the doctor? Like right now, when I'm what? Right? When do you take your car to the mechanic? So have you noticed something? What is the most, this is a tricky question. What is the most important part of the car? Let's just say this is a car. A vehicle, a Corvette, that's broken. What is the most important part of the car?
The part that's not working.
The wheels?
The part that isn't working.
The part that's not working. No, you guys don't get it. The most important part of, let's just say this is a Lamborghini. The most important part of this Lamborghini is the part that's not working. That automatically became the most important. If it's a flat tire, guess what needs attention?
Flat tire.
Guys get it? Yeah. So question, what's the most important part of your bake shop? The one that's not working. Whatever that is, you better put in time, energy, and money to fix it. And if you fix that, your entire bake shop will blow up. Well, our bake shop is not bringing any guests. The bringing guests is the most important part. Figure something out. Run a contest. Go on a blitz. So, like today, you know what we did on my meetings? One of my ladies, she's super sharp and she loves to prospect. So I don't know, there were like 180 people there in the meeting. She's like, what am I train on? Because I have to fly in. I'm like, no, don't train everybody. Give them 2 hours, send everybody to prospect. So I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, it's a nice, it's a rating. Oh, it's very nice. Send them out. And when they come back, recognize the top 10 that brought the most guests. I got some gift cards under my door, I told her. And then do a poll openings from 2 to 4. And let's set up a bunch of activities. Okay. She just said, oh my God, people are fired up. We collected like 1,000 names in an hour, blah, blah, blah. Ready? That's more than me teaching them on a PowerPoint. But I need that to improve recruiting on my base. So anything that I need, you need to get creative. I got to give you a tip. Starting marketing. I was telling them, right, on the way here. Starting marketing. Our business is marketing. Who doesn't follow boxing at all? Like you're not into boxing, you don't really follow boxing, you have never bought a pay-per-view, and that's okay. Who doesn't? Okay. Even though you were like this, let me ask you a question. You still knew Pacquiao was fighting Mayweather. Think about it. You don't follow boxing, but you knew there was going to be a fight of the century. Why? Marketing. So let me ask you a question. You just need to change our culture. So let me tell you the biggest message I can give you at the end. What really changed my business. I created a culture of marketing in my office. Whenever you want more, you're recognized. Like I asked you, how come nobody ever in your team has the, oh, you just a couple people done it, right? But they're not consistent doing BBC. And she's like, I don't know. I'm like, let me ask you a question. If I walk into your office today, what do I see? What do I see? Because if you walk into my office, the moment you walk in, you see 7 banners of BBC. You see a whole wall of recognition of everybody that just did BBC. We spent an hour recognizing people that just did BBC last month. We do a conference of people that just did BBC. You already know by walking through our tour, BPM tour, you already know we're going to Puerto Rico in June. And you know exactly how to qualify. We have guests that tell us, what is this? I'm like, what? Your company doesn't take you to trips? No, oh my God. Every 4 or 6 months we go somewhere. You gotta love us. Oh, okay, I'm excited. So, my office is like a marketing, and don't get me wrong, right? You can keep your office very clean and professional, that's fine, do that. I don't want to do that. That's not the business I'm in. Have you guys ever been to Swan's office? Who's ever been to Swan's office? A couple of you guys? When you walk into Swan, the moment you walk into the big room, what do you see? Everywhere. 3:30, you just know they went to Japan, you know, the big you don't find out this by this empty of the wall. 3:30 banners everywhere. The next convention, there's Hawaii checks, pictures of life-size people, like everywhere. No, but you don't get it. Who's the number one guy in the company? Why? You see? I'm gonna end with this. What's your brand? What do people know you? What do people know you? It starts in your office. What do people know you in the office? As a producer? As a recruiter? As a great trainer? Because we don't get paid for training, that's why we check it. What do you know as? You need to make that goal. So my goal when I was asked that question, I'm like, dude, I want to be known not only in the outside in the company, I want to be known as a recruiter. That's what I want to know. So I talk about recruiting and I train recruiters. When I didn't recruit a lot of people, you know what my biggest fear? If I talk about recruiting, my top producers are not going to like that. They're going to quit. They're going to think it's one of those deals. Well, guess what? They quit anyways. So when I start talking about recruiting, guess what? Benefit came out. I started attracting a bunch of recruiters. People that want to recruit. There's nothing wrong with recruit. By the way, if you get recruited, shame on you. You got recruited. I don't know, last time you checked. I'm not comfortable with recruiting. You got recruited. You, like yourself. So yeah, you okay joining the business and making a bunch of money, but you don't want to tell that to other people? Selfish. So I don't know what you need to change this yet. My goal for you guys is to go out there, rebrand yourself. You come into my office, and by the way, it's very professional. It's probably one of the nicest offices in all Northern California, just so you know. It's 10,000 square foot office, beautiful office. But it's a TFA branch, 19 offices, 12 cubicles, big training rooms, conference with leather chairs. Like, it's very nice. But they know we recruited. Our bosses are crazy hot. Their parking lot gets full. We always get in trouble. Like, it's a good thing. Remember, when you build it, it's messy. If I come to yours and it's super professional, yeah, it's 12 people and 3 gas. That's not the business I want to be. But guess what? I had that business. But I changed. So, I got a laugh, not a quote, but I want to tell you something. The WFG, if you've been here 5, 7, 10 years, raise your hand. I don't know if you noticed, but the WFG you and I signed up is not the same WFG. Have you noticed that? Yes. Some of you guys? This is not the same WFG. This thing is faster. This is on steroids. This thing is moving right now at a pace that is like. My message to you guys is catch the train, because the train is moving. If you don't get going, you will get left behind. And you will be one of those people that no one ever knows. And I don't know if that's significant to you, but I want to be known. But I know that the only way to be known is by putting up the numbers, by doing the right thing for clients and people. And if that happens, your family's going to reap the benefits for generations. So I want to challenge you guys, let's make 2017 the best year ever, but it starts with you. Thank you guys so much.
Was that unbelievable or what? I told you guys, he's the real deal. This guy's a rock star in WFG. So, real quick, Dave, I don't know where you are. Guys, get around and you want to get up. Yeah, let's get in the front here. Can you handle that, Spellman, or no? It's better back there. Get the photographer on here. Was that unbelievable or what? You guys don't take these things lightly. I do know this though, we can't repay you for the time, but I know how much your sweetheart means to you and the time that you and her get a chance to spend together and blocking it out. So we would just like, on behalf of the team, you take Veronica out on a real nice date night on our team, and we so appreciate your time and commitment. And guys,
hear me now? Okay. So that means you guys' butts are literally on fire, just not sitting, right? You guys got a lot of great nuggets? Here's how I know you got a lot of great nuggets, because you're probably right now, for the champions, you made a list while he was talking. You got about 5 new people that you can call as soon as we let out this meeting. Matter of fact, you probably were texting them as Juan was speaking. That's how I know you took in some great nuggets. How many of you did that? That's what I'm talking about, right? So look, it doesn't stop there. It only gets better. Yeah, really, only gets better. So the next gentleman I want to bring up to you is someone that's near and dear to my heart. He actually wasn't able to join us this morning. He had the pleasure of going, he and his wife, to pick up wine. So I'm super excited for them and the nuggets that they received. And he's going to get a chance to come up to speak to us a little bit about what's going on in their business. He and his wife, when it comes, So he's going to get a chance to come up and speak to you guys a little bit about what's going on in their business. Why are they so fired the freak up? And probably why they're going to explode even bigger coming out of this low fall. So without further ado, please help me welcome Quentin and Rachel O'Connor.
Me and Rachel made a big change. I mean, we looked at our numbers from a year ago and wanted to change a few things. A few things that we needed to change. One of the things that we needed to change is that we needed to, as Juan was saying, and we talked to Dan in February in Hawaii, and we needed to change our recruiting numbers. And so one of the things that we did was we started to talk about what we needed to change. What do we need to change? Well, we needed to make sure that we had the right amount of hours of operation. We had to go to work every day. We had to do the things that we need to do. And what is the thing that you need to do when you need more recruits? You got to prospect or make phone calls, correct? And so we started to make more phone calls. We started to dedicate blocked out time. So block out your time to make your phone calls, or block out your time to go prospecting. And once that's done, then you start to make those calls. Well, anyway, we had 11 recruits direct to us in 2015. And this last year, we just finished out with 30 direct recruits. Just making that little change. That little change is really focusing, laser focused on the one thing that is, right? Keep the main thing the main thing. The main thing in our business is recruiting. And so that's what we did. We started to really focus on that and getting those recruits, and started to do that every day, day in and day out. And my thing is, I always tell Rachel, is that if you dedicate 2 hours a day to your recruiting, right? If you're a full-timer, 2 hours a day, and our business isn't that much. If you're a part-timer, an hour, 30 minutes to recruiting, to make how many phone calls, whatever that takes to get that result, that is what we call the 80-20 rule. Everybody know the 80-20 rule?
Yeah.
Right? So 20% of what you do will produce 80% of what you get, right? So if I make 2 hours worth of phone calls or prospecting for 2 hours, that's going to produce my business. And so that's what we started to do, right? Because from there, now I'm going to make the calls, the prospecting, that's going to be setting up one-on-ones, that's going to be setting up financial needs analysis, that's going to be setting up all the things that come next, right? What comes next is the business, the lifestyle, all that kind of stuff. And so that's what we started to really do, and then we started to focus on that. And of course, I want to also lead by example. If I can do that, right? As Eli said last night, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, right? I got a high school education, and we make a 6-figure income. Okay? I'm a C student in high school, went to work at King Soopers for 30 years in a retail job, and I make a lot of money. Why? Because now we've been taught, right? We know enough here that we've been taught to do the things that make us money, and that's recruiting. It's not going out trying to sell stuff, it's recruiting. And so we're very good at recruiting and laser focused to that. So I'm going to let Rachel take over, but do that because I know you're all a lot smarter than me. A lot of you are a lot smarter than me, but I know how to dedicate my 20% to where it needs to go to make the most of that 20%. So I'll let Rachel talk. Thanks.
Yeah, Q is definitely a great example of consistency and consistent recruiting, right? He's really good at that, and he's really good at holding all of us accountable to our baseline. But I think what's really exciting is that 2016 is over. Not that it was a bad year, however, it is a year of the past, right? Yes?
Yes.
And 2017 is a year for change, right?
Yes.
And that's what's exciting, is that we can actually make a change. And so I think in order for us to have a much more successful year, is to go back and actually assess your business from 2016. What went right and what didn't go all that great. And figure out what you need to do to change, right? And so I think that it's important to make the assessment of, did I have enough recruits? No? Well, what caused that? Well, lack of consistent phone calls, lack of prospecting, right? So I knew I needed to change something about what I was doing if I wanted to do a different year, right? So what I did is I really, really took to heart Mark's tracking sheet, and that tracking sheet has made all the difference in the world. And I'll tell you what, my baseline daily is 25 points. So the average calls that I have to make in order to get 25 points for the day is about 16 to 17 phone calls. It's really not all that much, is it? Right? But sometimes it feels like...
Mine's 40 points, by the way.
Yeah. Mr. Showboat over here. Good job. But I know I need to get those points done, and if I don't, I do struggle at the end of the day with guilt. It's like, I cannot go home without hitting my baseline. Well, I'm not the only one that holds myself accountable to that tracking sheet, but so does Q. At the end of the day, he comes by my office, and how many of you have a spouse that works with you in the business? Okay, so we have a few. We need more, by the way. Hint. So, I don't know about any of you, but Q comes by my office and he'll taunt me, right? He'll be like, yep, I got my baseline done, I'm out, right? So, and he'll ask me, have you got your baseline done? And so if I haven't, I know I need to get that done. And so this next year I need to bump it up, right? 25 points is nothing. But what I'm doing is I'm going back and I'm assessing what didn't work so that I can make the change and I be open to ideas and feedback. But I'm not the one with the solution, so I need to seek that out. And so that's why I'll go to Mark. Juan Jaimie was extremely helpful today in finding out what do I need to do to change. I know another thing is that you got to be patient with people. You know, there are some people in this company that have A-type personalities. You got to go, right? So people like that, it's great. But sometimes we have lack of patience for people, I think that we need to stop and slow down and make the assessment of, okay, this person deserves my attention, my training, and the development, and everything that I promised them when I recruited them, right? You can't recruit somebody and then not have the patience at working with them in the process of getting them promoted. Thirdly, something I took from 2016 was that I never really had a assistant. Not a consistent assistant. I went through about 3 different assistants because you have to find the right one that goes with your personality. Right? And who's that person on MASH? Radar. Right? Your assistant needs to be like radar. They need to be able to forecast your day and know what you need before you know what you need. Right? And that's very, very, very difficult to find. So I decided after going through 3 assistants, I thought, you know what? Forget it. I'm just gonna put my head down and work. And then I had a really great recruit in the base, Danielle Ward. She's so awesome. She's actually direct to Sally Dillingham. And she actually came up to me one day and she asked if she could be my assistant. And of course I was closed-minded about it. No, that's okay, I'm good. No, I'm good. And then you take a look at your cash flow, and figure out, you know what, I'm not good. Because I'm spending my time in all these other areas, and my cash flow is sliding backwards, going down. I don't have the recruits and the numbers I should have, right? And I know Chris has been very patient adjustments and improvements as time.
The last 16, the company is literally going to be for Parrot would have shift because this, well, that's the guy. Remember, man, think about all the right? So he's just kind of like walking. They had a great idea, lacking synergy team, right? The relationship, right? So individuals, the labor stuff, right? Like I would invest there and that. So he's your WFG. You're being in WFG